Okay, guys, so I just finished the finale of The Penguin, and that was absolutely insane. I mean, that there's no way to describe it. That was completely insane. It was a great ending to a great miniseries, and the acting throughout the series, Connor Farrell as a Penguin was so great. Honestly, all the main characters really had great performances. And also, it gave kind of a sneak peek towards the second Batman, which we'll get into in a second. But spoilers ahead, so if you don't want any spoilers, then stop watching right now. Just make sure to like and subscribe first. But let's just get to the main thing everyone's going to be talking about. Oz killed Victor in probably one of the most insane scenes in television I've seen in a very long time. It was so nuts where, Victor basically has been groomed to be his underboss for a pretty long period of time now throughout the miniseries. He told him, after basically doing everything for him, now finally tells Oz in an extremely vulnerable moment that he's his family, and Oz basically starts strangling him to death, it was so nuts, and it's kind of an alluded back to the beginning of the series where Oz says, "Don't trust anyone," and basically he kills Victor in an incredible scene, and basically he says to him, "I can't be weak anymore. Family's made me weak in the past." Basically everything he's done throughout the series, all of his motivations is to please his mother, and in his eyes, it hasn't gotten him anywhere, and he thinks he's getting too close to Vic, so he kills him. What? And honestly, the Penguin guys was kind of he was an anti-hero for the first 7 episodes of the series. You were rooting for him. And then in that one moment, it's like, holy shit, this guy's no longer an anti-hero, he's a villain. This is completely insane. So he kills Victor, he takes his ID, throws it in the water, and it means nothing to him, too. It's dark. It's dark shit, guys. Like, holy fuck, that was insane. And then, Sophia, the ending with Sophia, she's in Arkham, or I think she was in Arkham, but she was in jail, and she gets a letter it was the Catwoman who gets her letter, so it's kind of alluding to the next Batman movie where Sophia Falcone is going to be in the film. And then, of course, Oz's mom, Frances, is a vegetable now. She had a serious stroke in the finale, and he's dancing with his mistress, pretending it's his mother, which is strange ending. And then there was the bat signal, kind of like the Batman. It's alluding to the Batman. So the Penguin's going to be in the next Batman too. That's the other thing that's pretty interesting. I thought it was just going to be Sophia Falcone. That's why I thought maybe the Penguin would die, but no, the Penguin's alive. He's going to be in the next Batman. There's no question about that. I think that's also why now he's definitely a villain going into the next movie. Sophia Falcone's going to be in the next movie, but no Victor. He was killed. But the finale was great, so that was the ending that everyone's going to be talking about. But the actual episode itself was super good. It started off immediately with a bunch of drama. I mean, you had basically, it was kind of a flashback with Frances, but it was her in her old form or current form, and then a flashback to herself. Because again, we know Oz killed his 2 brothers accidentally. We weren't really sure if it was on purpose or not. But basically, the thing that's alerted to the audience is she knew the entire time that Oz had killed his brothers. She knew the entire time, but the audience did not know that. So that was revealed to the audience, and she was devastated by it. And the mobster or the gangster guy, she told him, basically they were in the jazz club, and she told him to kill Oz until she changed her mind because she had so much hate and resentment to Oz for killing her 2 sons. But she knew the entire time, and again, this was all happening during an examination by Sophia and the doctor trying to get information out of him. And then of course, we're talking about Victor throughout showing loyalty to Oz throughout the entire series. And for example, we saw after the explosion, Victor's right there. He's trying to rally a bunch of the gangsters around Oz, trying to protect him and rescue him to safety. And again, thinking about it now, there was a bunch of foreshadowing kind of towards it. I mean, Victor was incredibly loyal to him, which makes it even more effed up what happened. But then the episode goes to Oz is tied up, his mother is tied up, and Sophia's trying to do some sort of like psychological terror experiment, basically trying to get Oz to admit that he killed his brothers to his mom, or she's going to cut off Francis's finger. But Oz didn't even admit it, and the mom finally confronts him, accusing him of basically confronting him that you killed my two sons. She gets super angry. She breaks a bottle and stabs Oz, and then she faints and collapses. And then Oz breaks free of his restraint, starts shooting at Sophia and her guards, killing them, and then they escape with Francis's body, and they go to the hospital. And guys, it's just so screwed up. It's screwed up. So Francis and Oz are in the hospital. Oz is screwed up, and then he calls Victor. Victor goes and sees him, and basically, it's screwed up in the sense where that was the last time Oz saw her until she was in a vegetative state. Think about that. That's pretty crazy too when you think about it. The last time he saw Oz's mother, or Oz saw his mother, was when she stabbed him. Screwed up, guys. So Sophia, she's kind of in a state of disarray now because Oz had escaped her clutches. She has everyone at her residence, all the gangsters, all the organized crime people in Gotham, basically put the bounty on Oz, saying, listen, whoever gets Oz to me gets my empire. And I think she was planning to go to Italy, but that was it. She wanted to kill Oz and get the hell out of there. That was the plan. And basically, Victor is able to convince some of the gangsters, like Link, for example, to rally around Oz and kill Zeng at the airport hangar where they met. And they killed them. Oz got what he wanted, and Sophia was captured by Oz. Now Oz basically holds all the cars and total control of his empire. Again, because of loyalty by Victor. Oz would have been fucked. If it wasn't for Victor. So he has a total loyal underboss in Victor here, which is why it's so crazy what Oz did. But so then he takes a drive with Sophia, basically lecturing Sophia about how she doesn't know what it's like to be coming up poor from the bootstraps. She tells Oz he's a monster. And again, Sophia thinks she's about to be killed by Oz, but it was a trap where the police come in and arrest her in order so Oz gets in good graces with the city councilman, and basically is respected by city government, which is pretty interesting. So Sophia's arrested, back in prison, and then she got a letter from Catwoman, which will be a big thing in the next movie also. But Oz goes to the hospital. Frances is basically dead. She's in a vegetative state. Oz's entire thing is he needs validation from his mother, and he couldn't get it. And once he couldn't get that, it was over for him because she was in a vegetative state. He finally achieved what he wanted to achieve for so many years to impress his mother, and he couldn't get that. So that was it for him, and probably why he killed Victor, because he believed that, I'm not going to go over this again, would have people close to me. It's only made me weaker in the past. So he kills Victor in an insane moment in television. Like, that was so crazy. I mean, again, this is my initial reaction. Like, who knows how the reaction is going to be from this general population, but my immediate reaction is, holy shit, that was so nuts. But yeah, he kills Victor, and I thought maybe he'd have a big part in the DC in the next series, but no, he's dead. Oz killed him. And now I think, and a series like this, it's very smart because it builds a lot of anticipation for the next Batman movie. Like, it was a great miniseries, guys. Like, it was super cool. The characters are great. Oz is an asshole. Like, he's a villain, not an anti-hero, like I thought for the first 7 episodes. Yeah, crazy finish to the finale of The Penguin, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But the Batman 2 is going to be a great movie. I can't wait for it. And we'll see what happens with the Sophia Falcone-Oz dynamic, as well as the Riddler. We'll see what happens. But that was insane. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and crazy shit, guys.